Hi. So, in addition to do, re, mi, fa, so, fa, mi, re, do, and that's scale 1 through 5, and the arpeggio or chord, do, mi, so, mi, do, which is the embedded chord from the scale, the 1 chord, the chord that begins on the first note, on do. And we're working on the melodies and recognizing those things embedded in them. One other thing that happens a lot in ear training, depending on where you're going afterwards, is they'll want you to know what they call solfege hand signals. It's primarily a kinesthetic device to do hand signals with the different solfeggio that we sing, and putting any physical action and things helps sort of like a more complete learning thing. If you're going on a performance track, they probably won't make you learn those things. If you're going on an education track, teaching, that kind of thing, they absolutely, most schools make you learn those things. So we're going to touch on both just so that you're prepared when you go away, if you go away to another school for music. If we're looking in the textbook, page 10, right there is the exercises that I'll be referring to. Now there's a complete reference video, just me doing these, and you're going to practice along with them like you have been with the melodies. Eventually you want to be able to do this on your own, but I'm going to teach you first the solfege hand signals for the do, mi, so. So do is just your closed fist, and you don't have to use both hands, but whichever hand you want is fine. I do know some people that do these with both hands, but it's just do, or I'm in the wrong key, hold on. Do, there we go. Do, okay. Do, so whenever you're doing hand signals and you get to do, it's just do, and then if you go up to mi, it opens up like this. Mi, and then if you go up to so, you turn your hand like this. So, and there's very naturally sort of a psychological thing you do where you go like do, mi, so, because you know you're ascending, but you don't really have to. Do, mi, so would be fine too. And all of these exercises at the top of page 10 have scale numbers. When you see a number with the caret sign on top, looks like a little hat, that's referring to scale numbers. So if you look at the textbook, the first one goes 1, 3, 1, 5. 1 would be do. Do, mi, do, so. So you're going to practice these along with the reference video of me doing the arpeggiation workshops. That's what they're called. Number 1. The title of it is on the previous page in your textbook, but the first exercise is on the next one. And I just go through all of them, and by doing this you'll reinforce doing your hand signals, but you'll also get lots and lots and lots of practice singing every possible combination of do, mi, and so together. They literally go through every one, which reinforces hearing the triad and things, right? And that would be all you need to do for that right there. Add that to your repertoire, okay? Now there's also reference videos of me singing the parts of duets there. And so I would like you to learn duet number 1. And what that means is you take the same process that we did with the melodies. Just listen to me sing it, point to each line as you go along, and then see if you can just hum along. See if you can figure out where the do, mi, or so is in there, and then eventually start singing them and piecing it together. I know there's people with lots of background and certainly enough ability just to sing these things. It takes a little longer to go through the steps, but it's very important that you don't skip that. Even if you don't spend a lot of time, go through each one of those steps, and if you find that there's anywhere that is problematic, you have a chance to address that and get more comfortable with it. I mean, just think of it this way. If there's a piece of music that's within your skill set, you can't just sit down and play the whole thing, even though it might fit in your fingers or your voice or something. It certainly take some time to learn it. There's two things that have to happen to learn a piece of music. One is to learn it mentally, and the other one is to learn it physically. And that means that you have to know it well enough to know how it goes, and that's why we want you doing repetitions. And the other one is you have to have enough muscle memory so that it becomes habitual to do these things. Not that you can sing those notes, but that you do sing those notes or play them so that it becomes very comfortable and natural for you. I'm working on pieces that I started playing a year ago, and I could play them, you know, earlier than now, of course, but I find after 6 months or 7 months of playing a piece, it's truly, you know, second nature. I can smile and laugh and carry on with other people and make comments and joke or goof around with it while I'm playing it, and it doesn't, you know, that's how well it's ingrained into me, both physically and mentally at that point. So go through that, duet number 1, listen to me, learn it, both parts, and then start practicing singing one part while I sing the other part, and learn both of them. I'm in the key of C on a piano. If you just listen through a bunch of times, you'll get that in your head, and you should be able to just slot in, because if you can hear where do is, then you can hear where mi is, and that's where the other line starts. But you're always welcome to plunk your first note ahead of time so you've got it in your ears, and then play along or sing along, okay? So, adding a duet, the full process, learning the arpeggiation workshops, those kind of things. And then we have one more thing that I want you to think about. So I'm gonna go to another video to do this because I have to reset up so we're in front of a keyboard, but we'll go there in a minute.